Hello, everyone, and welcome to Apocalypse Week. That is correct. We are doing Apocalypse all week, and this is part 13, actually, part 11. My goodness. Okay, so of course we're going in and we're checking out birthdays. So it looks like Carmen is going to be an adult come Wednesday, and Evie doesn't have a birthday till Saturday. Ew. Okay, so basically that means we probably won't see her birthday this week because generally we never get birthdays when we say we are. So we will see Carmen probably age up into an adult, I would say, because her birthday is Wednesday. So I would say that we'll see that like, I don't know, Thursday or something, Friday. All right, so she is a chef level 6. Now, the last time we left, she did have a workplace rival. We'll dive into that in just a minute. We're going to check on Melissa. So she is level 4. She will soon have a promotion, and Rachel is level 5. We have a level 2 fast food employee here, Jules. All right, back to the work rivals. So, of course, like tending to work rivals, I locked. Okay, like a silly, silly human I was. I locked it behind a career. Now, what does that mean? Well, if it hadn't have been locked, of course I did my research, right? I did my research because now that we find ourselves in this situation, I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't stop us from continuing, okay? And, everywhere I looked was like, "Oh my god, it's not gonna let you have a promotion," and whatever, which is basically what the game is telling us. Now, I don't want to have to quit this job. So we are going to leave it as is. She is a level 6. We're going to leave it for this week. And if nothing happens this week, then I mean, we'll cry about it later. Okay, we'll get to that. Like we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But essentially, let me explain to you the ways that you would normally fix this. So while she's at work, you could tend to the work rival. You could befriend them or sabotage them. But we are only allowed to work normal and work hard. So already we can't do that. The only other option would be to call them on the cell phone that we are not allowed to use, um, and to invite them over to do that, which we're also not allowed to do. Now, throughout the gameplay, I do check a couple times to see if it tells me, like, lock the camera or, um, you know, zoom in on this location or whatever it is, but it never came up, right? Like, it's hard to explain, but either way, from what I can tell, there is nothing that you would be allowed to do regardless for the work rivals because of the way that the game is set up. So we are literally going to sit here and hope that there is not some kind of curse with the chef branch of the culinary career. Okay, because the first time we had Pan and he had a layoff doing this exact same career at the exact same position. I think he was level 6, maybe level 7. Like it is all happening at the same spot. So I'm slightly concerned that it's now the career is just like it's bad mojo, but we're going to leave it and see if it ends up resolving itself. Like, I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to just have a little faith this time. I don't know. So we're going to leave it as is. I don't want to touch the rules just yet. So essentially, what happens when you have a work rival, it's not quite like a layoff. The work rival is going to stop you from getting a promotion. So essentially, if this work rival never went away, we would be stuck at level 6, regardless of how good we're doing, regardless of if we have all the skills, yada, yada. Okay. We would be stuck here. So that's the gist of it. Now, we are going to leave it exactly as it is, and we will see this week, like, what we're going to do essentially, because I don't really know what else. Like, this point, type of system that it is wouldn't matter if I had locked it or not, right? Um, it's just like an added layer at this point to lock it behind something because everything to do with fixing it is locked already behind something. So yeah. We're gonna leave it and we're gonna see. Uh and yeah, that's about it. So, you know, week 13, guys. Now, of course, we have to go in and get rid of all the stuff that we're not actually supposed to have that, Felicity gets when she's fishing because she's just hauling everything out of that lake. You can betcha. So, we are getting rid of everything else to see exactly how many fish we have. I do think that we have enough fish to survive a few days anyway. Um, but yeah. So we're gonna give a run through once again. So Carmen is working towards the chef branch of the culinary career. She is a level 6. She is the one going through the work rivals. Okay. We do have Melissa, who is the remaining twin, and she is working towards the villain branch of the um what is it? Super villain? Super agent. Secret agent. Secret agent career. And then, of course, we have Rachel working towards the athletic bodybuilder career, and Jules is working towards the fast food employee. That is a part time career. And then, of course, we have Evie, and she is still at the end of her teenage years. So hopefully, by the end of this week or the beginning of the next, she will be a young adult. And that's where we are. So, Jules needs one more promotion before she unlocks the fast food employee career. What does that give us? So, essentially, the fast food employee career, I felt, worked side by side with the chef career because it's going to unlock family recipes and quick meals and everything else that you would normally use a fridge for. Okay. So, yeah, I thought it would be kind of cool to unlock them at the same-ish time. All right. Um, so she's working on that, and we're gonna backtrack. I'm gonna explain one last time for those, who don't remember everything, like, me sometimes. Secret agent villain, which is what Melissa's doing, is going to unlock this 8 by 8 square on the lot. So what does that mean? We are going to be able to spread this house throughout the entire lot if we want to. It does not mean that we can use the outdoors. Okay, we still won't be able to use the outdoors. And of course, we are also unlocking the bodybuilder athlete career, which is Rachel. Okay. And that is going to allow us to move and sell objects with a footprint larger than 1 by 1. Um, we will be able to carry more than one stack of items in our personal inventory, and we will be able to remove items from the family inventory, okay? Except for the career items. We can't use career items. So we are going to have to pay attention to that. Um, but yeah, so that will unlock the majority of everything that we have in there. And of course, we have the culinary chef career, which is going to unlock fridges, stoves, oven, coolers, and cooking non-fish items on the grill. And if I've Listen, even if it just meant cooking something other than fish on the grill, I would consider it worth it 1,000%, okay? Let's be clear, it would make it worth it right then and there. Alright, so of course everybody's grieving all the time, okay, because first we lost Pan on purpose, and then of course we had to say goodbye to Hannah last time because she completed a career. Oh, and it was so exciting. So Hannah was the Melissa's twin, and she unlocked the part-time babysitter career, which unlocked one toy for the toddlers and uh nannies, which we can't quite do yet because the rest of the service sims are locked. Um, and of course, the traits and the aspirations and using the random trait generator. Okay. So we unlocked that and we were able to give Jules a trait for the first time. For the first time in 12 game weeks, we were able to give our Sims a trait that made sense. Although the week before that, we were lucky when Carmen aged up. She was generous and was it generous or outgoing maybe, but it was a nice one. Okay, it wasn't like erratic or like, anything like that. And then, of course, Melissa got the genius trait, which really helps her. Like, we really lucked out with that because If Carmen would have gotten that, it wouldn't really be much use, but luckily Melissa got it, and she was the one who was, the plan to do the secret agent career, which is what she's doing now. So it helps her stay focused. What I will tell you is that we are now reaching the point where we have to work on their skills. And it's not just about making them happy and keeping their needs up so that when they leave the lot, they are kind of happy. Okay. Right now, we are at a place where Melissa needs extra, charisma skill. And Rachel obviously was not able to work on her fitness skill prior to this because we couldn't use, workout equipment. It is limited to whoever is doing the athlete careers. So she couldn't prepare for that. So we obviously need to be working on that. And now she has also reached a spot where she requires work towards her charisma. So of course, I feel we are going to see a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Friction, I guess, in the gameplay where I think this is where we're gonna find a little bit of frustration between keeping everybody happy and everybody ready for work, but also having them work towards their skills. So, like Rachel, I don't know if you can tell, but this is it's like 2 days in a row, she's just exhausted. So I've just sent her to bed just by clicking on the button, the auto solve button, in hopes that she's gonna get some sleep. And I'm also having Evie is now in range to earn irresponsible. We'll deal with that later. I also have Evie talking to her mother, and let me explain that for a bit, okay? Because they're going to talk for quite some time. But um, Herman, when she was growing up, she earned the high confidence trait. So she is very confident in herself, and it all happened when she was like probably a toddler, a child at that point. By the time she was a teenager, there was too many other kids in the house, to be honest. But I think because her mother and father probably spoke to her more because she is the first lead detective. So Melissa's level 5 now. Um, yeah, I don't know. There was something about those interactions that gave her high confidence, and giving her the confidence that she had allows her to hold a confident moodlet every now and again, okay? So it's like she's got high self-esteem, and I'm wondering if it's maybe too late for Evie, but for now, we're gonna give it a go. So we're gonna talk to her a couple times, and oh my goodness, this girl, she can't even make it to bed. She's that tired. Anyway, so that is where we are. Um, so now Melissa, of course, needs more charisma skills. She is back to friendly interactions though, so we're gonna get her to talk to her mother now. Her mother who has literally like wants for nothing. Absolutely nothing. So we are gonna have her talk to her mom and, what are they doing? "Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no. No, 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 absolutely not. That's locked. Can't do that." Um, yeah. So, we are gonna have her talk to her mom, and hopefully some of those things will work towards her charisma, but I feel like probably not. And, Carmen is off to work, but I don't know what we're gonna be doing with her. The only thing that I'm concerned of at this point struggled to get those worked out. My goodness, I still can't talk right. The only thing that we can do for Carmen right now is make sure that she still has her, skills that she needs and um making sure that she still cooks food to make sure that she can be ready for whatever comes, her daily tasks, making sure that she's working normally, making sure that she's casually still moving upwards toward that promotion line just in case it goes away on its own, right? We want her to be ready for the next step. So, all right. So there we have it. We've got everybody. I'm trying to get into bed. Han has showed up. He looks a bit red, which means he's probably uncomfortable. He's staring at a broken toilet. Oh no, the toilet's broken. Did I forget to do that on Sunday? Probably. See, Rachel needs charisma and her fitness skills. So, and look at her, she's absolutely miserable, and I'm not entirely sure how to solve this at the moment. And mentor fitness, we're not allowed to do that because there's no mentors. And I dare say that is something that they changed when businesses and hobbies came out. It was probably a part of the upgrade or the update or whatever it is. So I also forgot to bring the money down, but we know for a fact that a few people have gone to work since then. Carmen makes 400 and something dollars every time she goes in. So we're just going to bring them back down to 1,000. All right. Not that it much matters. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because they make more money than they probably are ever going to use at this point until we can expand, until we can buy a fridge, until we can definitely upgrade items. All right, so Jules is off to work. We are going to have her work hard so that she can get this next promotion. 'Cause if she gets the next promotion, she unlocks the fast food employee. In some ways, I'm kind of glad that we were limited with the diploma on what we could do. Let me explain that. I don't know if these careers that I'm doing now, which will actually help us, I don't know that I would have focused on them. Some of them, yes, some of them I was already thinking about, but not all of them. And so they would not have been my main focus, right? My main focus would be things like trying to unlock everything possible to get the active careers unlocked, college unlocked, you know, being a doctor, getting our showers, all of those things. I would have been so focused in the long run that I wouldn't have focused on things that could help us like right now, which I think is exactly what we really need. So it's kind of like, I don't know, opening my eyes a bit as to what we can pull off here. All right. So Rachel is happy and we are getting her to practice on her mirror because I need her to keep going because she's already a level 5 here. So, or no, she's a level 6 actually. Level 5 or level 6. It's becoming increasingly hard to remember where everybody is at, and if I stop to check every 5 seconds, right, it's, like, taking away from my main focus. Like, you guys are gonna notice I'm pausing all the time. It's because I wanna make sure that while I'm doing one thing, that somebody else's needs are not depleting. It is a very tedious gameplay. Um, yeah, and I'm, like, struggling at this time, like, people are not really staying clean that long, we're not getting any more rain, summer is coming back, so it is going to be a long summer for them. Um, yeah, so, one thing at a time, but I think the idea of having Felicity have more babies with Pan, not doing that was the best idea because we are coming into a forever summer, and obviously we didn't get much rain last time. So the thought of going through another, I don't know, 12 weeks in just summer with no rain, I don't want that many Sims in the house. So, like, we could probably have one of our Sims that joins the house and whatever, and they could probably start having their children and whatnot, but I don't want more adult Sims than I need in the house. So we are going to slowly remove everybody from the equation. There is a significant gap between Jules and Evie, and I think that's where the I think that's where the miscarriage was. There's about a week there between them, I think. So, I mean, Carmen's already going to be an adult. It's just like it's happening so fast, but it's also not happening fast enough. It's also not happening fast enough. So, all right. Now we got to keep working on Rachel. We got to keep working on Melissa. Those are the two those are the two ladies that need the most help at this point because they are still needing their skills that for work, right? Carmen was pretty much ready when she became a young adult. Like Carmen was ready. She had already maxed her mixology skill. She was pretty high up in her cooking skill. I do believe she reached level 10 already of the cooking, and now all she's got left is gourmet skill, which we obviously are using books for that because there was supposed to be items on the grill that we could have made and then essentially just thrown out, right? Um, and they didn't work when I tried them. So, I can't purchase a fridge just for her to cook gourmet meals. Like, defeats the purpose. And of course, we'll have to figure out how that's going to work in the long run. Is that something I'll have to account for when I'm like at the end of all this, when the run through is done? You know, did the rules and restrictions make sense? But this is a rule and restriction that has been in place for a long time. Like this would have been part of the original, Pinstar setup. So how were they pulling that off? You know? Anyway, so I'm gonna have to have another look and see what's happening there. So for now, we just purchased those books. I use my debug menu instead of purchasing bookshelves and stuff like that. And I just place the books in the house. Everyone is so exhausted this week. They just can't get enough sleep. Last week, everything was going so well, so smooth. And this week, I feel like it is the struggle bus. Like I'm having a hard time keeping people happy for more than 5 seconds, which is kind of wild to be honest. I feel like we're going in cycles, like, every few weeks we have a bad week, and then a few weeks after that, we have a really good week. I wonder why that is. It's a bit weird, but yeah, so here I'm going in and I'm checking, like, they are technically not enemies, but they have a very negative relationship, Carmen and I think his name is Joshua Green. That is her work rival. So I am wondering if over time, because like in your gameplay, if you have an enemy and you don't interact with them like an enemy would, eventually it evens out. So it brings the negative back to zero, right? Unless you're declaring that person your enemy. The same way that if you're friends with someone and you don't talk to them, the relationship will go down, bring it down to zero. So I'm just trying to see if it will level out and get rid of that work rivalry if it like neutralizes, I guess. It seems to be staying the same, right? Because we got that work rivalry last week in episode 12, which means it's been probably close to a week that that's been in place, maybe 5 days at least. So, it seems to still be negative, but I had not checked to see how negative it was when it first happened. I didn't bother with that because I was feeling a little bit, just a little bit upset that we once again found ourselves in the chef career with something popping up. So, I was a little bit upset at the time. All right, so Jules is back off to work. Now listen to me clearly. She needs to work hard, harder than she has before. So Rachel, we are only going to get her to work normal, okay, because she is not ready for a promotion, okay? Even if she was like checkmarked, happy, everything else, she doesn't have the skills. So we are not going to make her work hard to become dazed, to become, burnt out and brain block and everything when she still needs to work towards her skills. So Jules is so close to unlocking the fast food employee career, part-time career that The excitement is thrumming in my veins at this point. Will it give me anything right now? No. But I have high hopes, you guys. I have very high hopes that we can do this because I do believe that Carmen can unlock her career. Okay? I truly do believe that she can do it. I'm not exactly sure how, but there is something in me telling me Carmen is going to pull this off. I'm not sure. There's just something in me. So, um we have, the family recipes and stuff that are going to be unlocked when Carmen unlocks her thing. So, I believe in us at this point. I truly do. It is a bit harder to gain skills. I'm struggling with the skills here at this point. I really am. I don't know if you can tell. I think like we're still doing okay, but we're also like halted at this point because this is like a bad week for them. The filth and everything is unreal. All right. So we are now Wednesday and Felicity is still doing all the hard work. Yes, she's slipping and sliding because she had to deal with a cursed book, but she's fine. She's gonna be totally fine. Okay. What if I do find is, like one of my little annoyances is that they can't crush all the dust bunnies. Like at least if they could crush the dust bunnies, the risk of fire and the filth level I feel would go down just like ever so slightly. But sometimes they get scared, okay, and they can't touch the dust bunny. Oh, goodness me. But yeah, so they can't always do that. But when they do, it does give them a confident moodlet. So we will allow it. You know what I mean? So we're going to try somebody else. Oh my goodness. Every single day this week, Rachel is too exhausted. Expel. Okay, wait a minute. She's been expelled, like, actually expelled from school. Oh, here's a fire. Why does this happen to me? Why is this happening? Okay, every time one thing happens, a million things happen at once. Okay, so here's the dust bunny that we couldn't crush, okay? He's now created a fire that has burnt through a wall, but the wall remains intact. Um, okay, so Evie was expelled. She's not just a dropout. She was literally kicked out of high school. She was kicked out of high school. Okay. Well, the good news is now we can work towards her responsibility and trying to get her out of that irresponsible like threshold, okay? And hopefully it'll stay that way. So as we work towards it, it will just bring it down just enough to keep her from being irresponsible, much like Jules. So that she's not uncomfortable at work, she doesn't have those, like, bad pop-up options. I mean, I don't really know what else at this point, but those are the basics. Whew, alright, taking a deep breath. I'm taking a deep breath, but I'm alright. Oh my goodness. Yep, so it would be nice if we could crush the dust bunnies that have a high mischief level, and, oh, look, Evie fell out of range to earn the irresponsible trait, good. I'd rather not have either or than have the irresponsible trait, so, yeah, anyway, so we are gonna just pay attention to that, obviously, the other things that she has, like manners and, emotional control and whatever else, like, those are not being a hassle at this point. It is quite literally only the responsible trait, and it is solely because she did not go to school, just like the rest of them. Now, I am slightly concerned that she has been expelled and she has not dropped out. So, I'm hoping that there are not more careers locked behind that. Like, don't know if there's a difference. Okay, guys, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words because I didn't know your Sims could be expelled from school, to be honest. And I'm not sure why she was expelled and the others weren't. I think it's maybe because she is the last of the Mohegans. I don't know how else to say it, but because she's the last kid, there's been so much going on throughout her life that she probably is the one that I had to make leave school the most, which could be the reason why it's happening. Like, for example, with Carmen and the twins and Rachel, they pretty much went and did everything at the same time. So the minute I saw one leave, I would make sure to cancel it for all of them, and it wasn't always the same one every time. Whereas Evie was at the end of the yellow brick road, and so she is the last of the children, and so while everybody else is up here working and doing their thing, Evie's like, "Hey, guys, I'm going to school," and then I have to, like, cancel her, make her leave early, so I think that could be it, but I'm not entirely sure, like, obviously, this is all kind of new, this aspect. I did not know that you could have dropouts and teens expelled from school, and why would I? You know what I mean? Why would I? Because literally, why wouldn't you send your teens to school? I mean, obviously, there's, like, mods so that they can quit school, right? Which looks a little bit different, obviously, than what we're seeing here, but I thought that was it. I thought that was the mod. I thought that was the only way. I thought that was the only way to experience the reckoning, but apparently not. Like, anyway, so I don't know now. I don't know what it's going to look like when sh like, because she's been expelled. Hopefully, it's just the same, right? Hopefully, it's the same and oh, Carmen aged up. Carmen is an adult. Guys, how long have we been playing this? Week 13. Our first apocalypse baby is an adult. This is wild beyond measure. Evangeline's birthday is indeed coming. Jules! Oh my gosh! Yeah, I know you're a little dazed, girly. I had you working. I had you doing the hard work. You're gonna be just fine, Jules. I just need you to go over there with the tombstones with your father and your sister and stay there. And thank you so much for your service here today and every day, obviously. Oh my god, we did it. We unlocked another part-time career. I know these are not like this is not a massive win right now. We'll feel it more once the culinary chef career is unlocked, but it's a win. Okay, so we just accepted a little bit of a perk there. I don't know what it gives us, but I'm assuming it has to do with cooking, which again, we won't ever see the excitement from that for a while. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And her expiration shall bring many sadness. Many, many sadness. And so maybe, just maybe, that will allow me to have my Sims working towards their skills once again. Maybe. Okay. Just maybe we will be able to do some more things, I guess. Burned out. Sweetie, it doesn't even matter. Right, so she's gonna empty the trash and keep going, and we'll just keep checking on her responsibility, making sure that it's not going down again towards irresponsible. I don't know what the other, like, repercussions are of, being a dropout or expelled, obviously. So what was happening was every time that they were going to school or, they were leaving school, they were obviously losing responsibility, and so it didn't take them a long time to go down to irresponsible. But now that she doesn't have to go to school, and we're working towards her responsibility, I am wondering if it will hold or if it will keep going down because she was expelled. Does that make sense? Is what I'm saying making sense at all to anybody else but myself? Because that's totally I can totally see it. All right. So we are going to have everybody maybe sleep, get ready for the next day. I don't really know. Like, it's a rough week, guys. This is such a rough week. Oh my goodness. I can't keep anybody happy. And Rachel, every single day this week, every single day has been exhausted to the point where she cannot even make it up the stairs to bed after work. Like, what is happening here? Okay, so her responsibility does seem to be staying down. Now, it's only been a few hours, so hopefully, we can just keep it that way. Guys, we don't have enough time to make her responsible by taking out the trash. Okay. We don't have the time. Well, no. No, no, we don't. We don't have the time. She is going to age up probably in the next 2 or 3 days. I don't think that's enough time to bring her to be responsible. If that ever happened, I don't even know if it would allow it because she's been expelled technically. So, I don't think she would be considered a responsible sim, okay? Look at Felicity showing off, just feeling focused, living her best life. Rachel, sweetie, when I tell you to go upstairs, just do it. Like, just do it. I don't understand. May as well get her to eat now. I mean, she's she take it upstairs. She's passed out up there. 100% she's passed out on the floor with her meal in her pocket. Feel like they're not even, like, cleaning themselves as quickly as they used to. Don't understand. Like, look at all these times that we're washing her hands, and it's, like, half. Holy moly! That's not enough. Oh my goodness, it's 3 AM. Oh, Rachel, why didn't you make your way to bed, sweetie? No, well, here we go. The minute I try to get her to go to bed, she's gotta pass out. Everybody is so miserable right now. Why? Did I ever do to you guys other than throw you in an apocalyptic gameplay? What did I ever do other than that to make you so miserable? I don't understand. Oh, wait, Jules. Okay, we are gonna have her quit her job so that she doesn't go and eat. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so she's just gonna go back over there in her little corner in the Hall of Fame, except for Pan. He doesn't really belong there. We should move his tombstone somewhere else. But yeah, little Hall of Fame for those who have worked very hard towards this apocalypse challenge. I thank them for their service. Did we pay the bills this week or did the bills just not come? What's happening? Did we get bills? I'm not entirely sure that we did. I'm also not entirely sure that we didn't. So I'm not I don't really know. I don't really know, but I feel like we did not get bills. Although lately I will say sometimes they come on Sunday, like when I load up into a family on a Sunday, it'll say like your bills are due weirdly. Maybe that happened. So we are midway through Friday, guys, and we're struggling. We are struggling. It's almost like this week the dust simply cannot be bothered. Like the dust is just so excessive. Can't be bothered to give us a break whatsoever, which would be kind of nice to be honest. I'm gonna say I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I wish that brooms had came with this pack. Okay? Even if it meant that you were just, like, sweeping, creating a pile that you had to pick up and put in the garbage, I would be okay with that, because essentially that's exactly what it was, right? In the most basic form of, like, dust was the broom, okay? It's literally a stick and some hay, I'm sure is what they used to use, okay? So, I just want someone to explain to me why that doesn't exist in the game, like, that would be okay for them to use, they could make that technically. Actually, in a true apocalypse, okay, and I say this coming from someone who has watched The Walking Dead more times than I can count. I have watched an immense amount of post-apocalyptic shows, but The Walking Dead is the one that takes the cake for me. You would literally just go grab somebody's broom, okay? You would literally go grab somebody's high quality bed if you needed it, okay? You would go grab the crib. You would definitely get the formula and the bottles from wherever you could, and you would not be worrying about fishing out in the open. You would go get the food from a store until it wasn't there anymore, okay? You would do what you had to, and you would go get it. You wouldn't buy it. You wouldn't do all of these things. You would literally go get it. So, there is some aspects of the challenge that are, like, so not realistic, but I mean, obviously, it's a game, and the apocalypse is not really that realistic, right? So, the zombie apocalypse is not realistic, and that is kind of what I'm basing my thoughts off of, right? So, yeah, I mean, you would go get what you would need, you know? Yeah. That's my little rant of the day, and I would go get a broom, okay? I would go get a broom. I mean, what would you go get? Zombie apocalypse, day 1, what would you go get? What would you make sure that you had other than food, right? Other than food. Me, it wouldn't actually be a broom. It would be, like, dog food for my dog. Not even. Actually, not even, because she can eat whatever. I don't even know what my one thing would be. Probably, like, blankets to keep warm in the winter months. 3 blankets, bottles of water, bottles to hold water, an emergency kit of some kind. I don't really know. I don't really know. Guys, I am you guys, I watch a lot of shows, okay? I read a lot of books. My imagination runs wild on its best day, alright? So, to me, like, this is just creative thinking, right? And if you're not into apocalyptic shows, then I'm not entirely sure you're liking this challenge, but essentially, it's post-apocalyptic, right? Um, yeah, alright, so now we do have some of our Sims working towards their skills. Now, is it going to last? Probably not. But we're doing it anyway because any little bit counts. Jules, I see you re-entered the home and I'm just wondering why. I'm just really wondering why. I mean, we appreciate your service here, okay? We really do. Truly. Once we are able to use this, we are going to be so grateful for you, okay? But yeah, this is it. The other thing that I've noticed is that every time you go a level, okay? So or down a level, I should say. It, like, readjusts the discomfort from the dust. So, like, if finally, after 3 hours, the incredible filth moodlet goes away, she goes downstairs, for example, Carmen, if she was to go downstairs, it would bring back that level of filth, and here's the reason why, I think, is because when you vacuum you're vacuuming per level. So right now the upstairs could be pristine and the downstairs is absolute filth, okay? So it resets it every time you change levels, which is highly annoying because most of their skill items are upstairs or they were. Now I've got some downstairs and it's part of the reason why I put a toilet on the second level so that we could minimize the amount of times that they have to go up and down. Is it working? No, not that well. Not that well, to be honest, but we're making do. Luckily, we were able to get some work done towards our skills. Is it a lot? No, it's not. It's not a lot. They're super uncomfortable this week, and I'm not entirely sure what I can do to help them at this point. Um, it's just like one thing at a time. I would love to find a way to have them learn their skills outside without having anything outside. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Nope. Not even in the slightest. It does not make sense. However, that is what I wish we could do. I mean, technically we could with books and they could sit on a bench, but yeah, I don't think we could do that either. The bench would have to be sitting outside, which we can't do that unless there's a bench like right in front of their property, but we're very limited on what we can do here. They could just stand outside too and read. But generally the Sims try to go sit down somewhere. What they don't know is that for the benefit of their health, they're better off reading outside. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to find crafty ways to make them happy and stay happy, and we're just extremely limited. So we're just hoping a prayer, guys. What I will say though is that out of the 6 kids, I was hoping that we would get 4 careers done. Um, or 3 even. 4 would be exceptional at this point. So we did have 2 part-time careers done. So I'm gonna like hope that with the last 4 we could do, like even if we could for sure complete 2 of them, maybe 3, okay? I would be so thrilled because the reality is it's a lot. It's a lot, and they're very miserable, and, like, literally, I'm working Evie to the bone. Like, to the bone, I am working her to the bone to keep her from getting that irresponsible trait, and I will keep working her in hopes that maybe, just maybe, or maybe not, I don't know, I don't think she's gonna get the responsible trait. I think we're too far gone for that. I think we are way too far gone for that. But, everybody has a dream. Oh, Jules! I know, honey. I know. And it's gonna be okay. Promise. It's okay, girl. You you have done some hard work, okay? And we thank you immensely. Little moment of silence for you and your little efforts. Moving on. Now, wouldn't it be cool to have a baby with Grim? Actually, I don't even know if that's possible if he's not living in the house with you. That compatibility, well, it's not happening with Evie, is it? Oh, she's very sad. What a fine time to work on your skills. Get prom. Guys, prom doesn't exist like post-apocalypse. I don't think prom is a priority. Okay, so Melissa is extremely tense, but I think that that is because that she has not been using her logic, like her genius trait all that much because she doesn't study logic a lot because she's so uncomfortable. So hopefully we can get back into that. I'm really hoping that everybody being so sad is going to give us a little reprieve from how miserable they are. So we are utilizing this to our advantage. Hey, Melissa, why aren't you sad, sweetie? Why aren't you sad? Come on, girly. Come on. You got this. Still very tense. Oh, goodness. Oh, there we go. A work rivalry ends. Oh my god! Just ended on its own after a week. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, wow. Pan, if you break that, so help me. Oh, that's great news. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That is amazing. What a great way to end the week. Herman, you are on fire. Not literally, but like, wow. Wow. Is like, hmm, girl, she is doing so well. Like, I'm so proud. Make my day so much better. Thanks for making me smile. That's literally what I'm thinking about you right now, Carmen. Like, thank you so much for being awesome because we really needed someone to be awesome at this time. Oh my god, that's so amazing, and she's so close to a promotion. She will soon be level 7, probably only next week, obviously, because we are Sunday. And you know what that means? It's Apocalypse Week, so we'll be seeing you, and it'll be tomorrow. Bye.